day to you. Yes, indeedly doodly doozy woozy woos. Yes, it is I. I am back. I had a message from my boss Brandon 10 hours ago, so it says on here anyway. Yes, it says, "Hi Slim, could you do some videos on what programs you prefer to run on Linux? I need something to open a zip file." Right, okay. Now, I don't know what Linux you're running, Brandon, all right? If you're using Mint, or if you're using XFCE, or if you're using Mate, I doubt if you are, but if you're using something like XFCE, or even Budgie, or even Ubuntu, you can use what I use, and that is Nemo. Nemo File Manager. I'm going to do an in-depth video on it right now. All right. So I'm just going to come off of here. This is Nemo. This is what I use. This is what I use on a daily basis. I first used Nemo way on back in Peppermint days. Yeah, when Mark Greaves was at the helm, and I absolutely loved it. Now, before that, of course, I did use Cinnamon. I've used Cinnamon off and on for years as well. But when I used it in Peppermint, I was just blown away by how quick it is. It's got everything you possibly need. It already comes with compression archives and what have you, so you're able to compress stuff on up and whatever you want. It comes with 7-zip. It comes with that pre-installed. So I would highly recommend that you use this. I've also got some lines for you to make it default, because you don't have to uninstall your Thunar if you're using XFCE or any other file manager. You don't have to copy me, as in uninstall your main one. I have here in XFCE, I've uninstalled Thunar simply because I don't like it. I've never liked it. I prefer Nemo over Thunar. I shall show you what we've got in here. Okay, if I go to Preferences and we go to Preview, of course we've got up to 64 gigs, so you'll be able to see all of your thumbnails, especially if you make videos or if you're doing pictures and stuff like that. You'll see all your thumbnails straight on out the bag. I've set it to 64 gig, but the Linux Mint team have already set it up to 32 throughout the whole of the system. Okay. Come to Toolbar, of course we've got all of this. You've got your previous arrows and all of that. You've got your location entry toggle, which is up here. And it gives you whereabouts you've gone on your system, whereabouts you are. Okay. What else we got? We got new folder. Yeah, you can create a new folder. You've got icon view. You can pick out icon view, list view, and whatever, compact view as well. You've got a refresh button. You've got a home button, so it'll take you back to your home page. Okay, if you've been searching on through the whole of your system. We've got list view as well, and you've got show thumbnails. Okay, you don't have to show thumbnails. You can switch them off or switch them back on again. I leave them on all the time. Context menus, the great thing. I love this. Now, Ubuntu Mate, or the Mate system in general, has been after this for God knows how long in their Acacia file manager. Copy to and move to. When I want to move something, say, here we are, we're on my storage drive at the moment. Say if I wanted to move this particular file somewhere, I can move it all the way on through my system. Whereas in Acacia, in Mate, you've only got the option for a desktop. Unless, of course, they've changed that now. I don't think they have. And you can copy to as well. All right. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to show you to compress a file and also unzip a file. As you can, you've got all sorts of stuff on here. That's what I love about Nemo. Also, it's great if you're using it in a virtual machine as well, to get the virtual machine drivers on in when you install the ISO to get the resolution done properly. Nemo automatically got that on in. As soon as you put the CD on in, the ISO in from your virtual drive, it asks for a prompt and you run it and you just put your password in and away it goes. Brilliant, bloody brilliant. It's got everything you possibly need. That's what I love about it. Now, when it comes to compression and that, say, I don't know, say if I wanted this compressed, this house up for sale, I can compress it just here if I wanted to. House up for sale. We can have it into a Targas, or we can have it as a 7-zip or a zip. All right, we'll go for a .zip. All right, we'll have it there, and we'll have it on storage as well. All right, and there you go. House up for sale. That's 251 megabytes, which is about the same as that anyway. Oh no, 95 bytes. That's really why it's bigger in there, though, isn't it? Yes. And you can unzip it as well, just by going extract here. All right. So if I move this, say, copy it on over to me documents, whack it on in there, we can go extract here, and there you go. It's extracted, no problem. So that's what I use. I use Nemo. I don't use anything else. I love Nemo. It does everything I need it to do. Some people would say, oh, it's really heavy. I don't think it is. It's nippy as anything on here. Look, it's heavy. Look how quick that opens up. And it tells you how much you got on your drive. Now, of course, I'm using, I don't use extension 4. I use BetterFS. That's what I use, which the compression level is so much better. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you're wanting to unzip files and whatever you hear in Linux, get yourself Nemo on in. What I am going to show you now is how to make it default if you're wanting to make it default throughout your whole drive. You might think just go on into settings and set it up like that. Well, yeah, you do that, but for it to be able to open up different stuff, like in your documents, you want them to open up documents in your terminal, for instance, okay, you're going to have to put a little script in, and I will show you what that is, and I will leave it down below for you all. Still to this day, after all these years, it's the same thing. So I've called it Nemo default. It should be here somewhere. There it is. And we'll just open up with text editor. Don't worry about the update part at the beginning there. So all you do, this particular one, gsettings set org.gnome.desktop.background show desktop icons, is for so that you got control over that part of the desktop, the show part of your desktop settings, yeah. So you could do your backgrounds and whatever, although you'll be able to anyway. I don't quite understand why that's there, but hey, this one, though, is to give it the search. So it gives it Nemo the search for different stuff, all right? Not in documents, for instance, or whatever you're searching for. G-settings, this is for whatever terminal you've got on open, so that if you're in it, like I showed you just now, if you're inside here, say, and you want to open this up in your terminal, you can, and it'll open up that path inside a terminal. All right, there you go. So yeah, love it. I will leave these underneath the video. I don't know if this is still working. I bloody thing got, yeah, see, I hate that. Why does it keep updating to that? Why does it do that? Why? Yeah. I've now updated to XFCE 420 now. I'll go to about. No. Hang on. Panel. About. There we are. 420.0. That's what I'm... Yeah, I think that's what I put. Oh, I don't know. The panel of the exit. Yeah, 420. I'm on. I upgraded. So, yeah, just to give it a try. And I'll tell you what, it's running beautifully. Wayland isn't there yet for XFCE, so I'm not using that. And anyway, it wouldn't work, so it would mean me having to uninstall my proprietary NVIDIA driver. I don't want to do that. So at the moment, still running X11, but yeah, it's running on fine. These are the apps that I use. I'm going to have to reinstall this again, this color picker. Color picker is brilliant because GIMP's color picker has never worked for me. I think the last time it worked was on version 3 or 2, 1 even. We're going back years, you know. It's never ever worked for me since. I don't know why. In fact, I think it did work in 2.6. But yes, ever since going to 2.10 and a little bit later of 2.6, it didn't want to know. So that's why I've got a color picker. But this isn't working now because it got upgraded. When I upgraded this system, everything got upgraded. And it's what? Really? It doesn't work, I tell you. It doesn't want to work. Look, how can I pick out a colour when the picker doesn't work? Why have they released this when it doesn't work? Why did they do that? Why? So, yeah, I've got that to fix, which I'm going to do right now because it's me off. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go into Synaptic. That's another one I like to use is Synaptic Package Manager. I'm not a fan of Flatpaks or of snaps, though Flatpaks are so much better than snaps. All right. 7-zip. There you go. That's what we've got inside Nemo. You're better off using Nemo. I really highly recommend you install Nemo, okay, on whatever Linux you've got running. I absolutely love Nemo. It just comes with everything you possibly need, and you get the job done. You know. What am I after here? I'm after color picker. GColor, isn't it? It's called GColor. So yeah, GColor. Here we are. I did lock it, believe it or not, and yeah, it's still upgraded. So we picked that out. I'm gonna have to unpack it. It's gone up to the 2.4. The versions install files. There is versions. Let's just set that. It got rid of my one. It doesn't work. I'm telling you. There's nothing else to install with it. It just doesn't work. This version does not work. I don't know why. Really do not know why. So I'm going to uninstall that. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go apply. Then I'm going to come off of there, come back into here, and I'm going to go in for installation, and we should see GColor here, and I'm having this one. This one works. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to copy that. I wonder if they fixed it. Yeah, have they fixed it? Oh, they fixed it. Oh, install, please. Let's continue, and off it goes. 2.3 is now installed. That's what I want. I don't want it going up to any other version, thank you. Yeah, that's that one that I left open. Color picker, if we go back into here. Look, see, that's what it should be doing, is that. But it, you know, the next one up doesn't do that. So, yes, color picker or GColor. GColor is another one that I like to use, okay? GColor. But don't install it via Synaptic or whatever Linux you're using. If you're using Arch, I'd say get one out of the AUR. It seems to work better, unless there's one already in the repositories of that. I'm not sure. Depending on what Arch you're using. What other ones do I use? Well, I use GIMP for my thumbnails and whatever. Kdenlive I still use, especially if I've been recording and I accidentally didn't record in PCM or FFmpeg PCM. In case I didn't record in that, I can then put that video on through to Kdenlive and just extract the audio from it and get it back to a WAV file to be able to use DaVinci Resolve with. DaVinci Resolve, I absolutely love using because it enables me to be able to use my graphic card to be able to render video with, and it gets it done so much quicker as well. All right. Brave browser. I use both Firefox and Brave browser, but I use Brave browser as my default Internet Explorer, if you like, yeah, as my default web browser. Yes, that's the word I was on after. But Firefox I use for banking and stuff like that. That's what I use Firefox for. Okay. Here we have Clip Grab. If there's a video of mine or anybody else's that I don't want to watch online, I'll download it and watch it in my own time. There you go. Clip Grab. It's fantastic. You can get it. I'll leave the PPA you need for Linux Mint. And for any other Ubuntu-based system, but it's extra deb, and they've actually made it into a deb file now, which is fantastic, and you can save that deb file, of course. Now, any of the programs that I've mentioned here, if you go away and download them, you can actually save those deb files and keep them elsewhere, so if you do have to reinstall Linux again, at least that way you don't have to go off finding them. You can just open them up as a deb file, and down they will come. Fantastic. Those are the sort of things that I do. I always save my settings with Brave browser as well. I don't want to have to go back to the beginning again, you know, having to get it up and running the way that I have it, like this, for instance. Yeah, I made this. This is HTML file that I made on up. I actually got a few pointers off of Mark Greaves years ago, and I thought, yeah, let's make my own up, and that's basically what I've done. I've got it on throughout of the two browsers that I use. If I open up Firefox, it should come up with this one. There we go. Of course, I'm searching with Google, but you can't get away from Google, can you? You just can't get away from them, no matter what you do. I mean, I'm already signed in with Google for me for my YouTube channel, so you know, can't get away from them. Thunderbird Mail I use for all my email addresses and what have you. It just works beautifully. A majority of Linux OSs come with Thunderbird anyway. Unless you don't need it, you can easily uninstall it. Other apps that I use, Audacity I love Audacity. It's good for recording stuff. It's good, like I say, for audio in your videos, depending on the length of the video, of course, as well. Especially if you're having to make them back into a WAV file again. It can only do up to 4.4 gigabyte of a WAV file or of a sound file. That's the only drawback. Whereas Kdenlive, to get your audio on out of there, does it beautifully. And no doubt I could in there DaVinci Resolve, but if I haven't got a WAV file or PCM file, then DaVinci Resolve will not read it, and you'll just be left with blank and the video, and yeah, not good. And you have to put the sound in, get the sound elsewhere. But yeah, terminal, of course, I use is my terminal. Lovely. That's what I'm rocking at the moment. 420. We're rocking. Oh yeah, it's working beautifully. Actually, it's lovely. Really is good. Text editor I use. Well, obviously I use Mint's Z text editor. Celluloid, it's good for video and that. VLC's all right, I guess. It's all right. It gets my photos done anyway for me thumbnails. This is also Image Viewer, which is Mint's as well. Their X app, which is already on here. What else? I do online apps. I mean, I got YouTube there. It just saves me having to keep on putting YouTube in a browser or having it clogging up my browser with shortcuts. So I'd rather have the shortcuts on here. And these are all apps that I do. These are easy to do. You can write up a script yourself. In fact, I've shown it in one of my videos on how to do it many a time. If you want me to go on over it again, I will. Let me know if you want to find out how to do that. You can have them open it up with whatever browser you're using. I've got YouTube here. Go on in there. There we go. It's a little bit slow, but does the job for what I need. BBC. There. We got ITVX. Straight on in. Channel 4. I've got to sign into that. My 5. Don't know if I'm already signed in on there. Probably not. Oh, I am. Got me Amazon that just saves me having to go off and actually searching in the browser, you know. But yeah, those are the apps. I'm trying to think of anything else that I use. Of course, OBS Studio I use for recording videos with. I sometimes use Simple Screen Recorder as well. And that's come an awful long way as well. Fantastic. It's what I used to use back in the day. All the time, in fact. But now, of course, I've got the new 31 here, OBS 31. Well, I had to put the PPA in that they've got on their site if you're wanting the latest. But, of course, I don't know how. I'm going to have to find out how to use my NVIDIA card inside of OBS. Because we're meant to have screen blurring and what have you. I'm not quite sure on how we go about it. And I've got a 40 series card, so there you are. But yeah, those are some of the apps that I use on a daily basis as well. Especially YouTube app that I've got up there and that. and these as well. YouTube's a go-to, isn't it? You just go to it and there you go. It's there. So I hope you found that informative. I'll leave the commands you need to make Nemo default, as in default for around your desktop. Talking about that, if you are going to save it as default, I don't know if it's there in the list. No, let's go down to settings, default applications, come into utilities. Of course, I've got Nemo desktop, so make sure you pick that out. So you come on down here. If you click on other, you hit this file, and it'll go off and take you to the right directory, and you just pick out Nemo desktop. Okay, but I highly recommend you put those commands in first. And I highly recommend Nemo because it comes with everything you need to compress and to uncompress files with. All right. And there you go. Thank you very much for watching. That is it from me. Bye. For now.